Kite Runner is a text chock full of the kind of meaning a formalist lens seeks to uncover. Hosseini Khaled, the author, uses many different literary devices, from symbolism to imagery, in order to impart upon the reader his view of the story. Throughout the book, imagery often acts as a tool, allowing the story to further encroach upon the reader's psyche. Khaled uses this device extremely effectively, attempting to amplify the emotion that can be derived from his story. One example of imagery is when Amir accepts Rahim Khan's proposal with the goal of becoming good again. The author wants to show just how dire a situation Sohrab is in, and to do this, Khaled uses strong imagery to describe the beggars, who are mostly children, some no older than 5 or 6. He describes how they squat at every street corner dressed in shredded burlap rags, in order to impress upon the reader what's at stake for Sohrab, should Amir's mission fail. We are drawn further into the story simply because of the emotional significance associated with Sohrab and the mission. Khaled expertly adds another layer of depth to his book in how he works with emotion. Because of how intense the scenes are with the most imagery, and seeing as the book is written from Amir's point of view, it is reasonable to think that Amir would have remembered the points in his life with the most emotion. Therefore, he would be able to describe them much more vividly than he would any other average day. One of the most important parts of the book is Amir's fight with Asef. As a reader, imagery makes the feeling almost palpable, and because of this, the tension between the two fighters explodes. We are able, to some extent, feel vicariously the pain of having a nail where a framed picture may have once hung, jabbed at our backs. The pain of the brutal beating Amir is subjected to by Asef's knuckles as they shatter his teeth along with his jaw. More importantly, however, this imagery escalates tension. With the end of the book closing in, there is a very real possibility that Amir's story might end here. Such an effective use of the fundamental formalist device brings the story to a crescendo, which is why the eventual release of tension is so impactful. Sohrab is Amir's opprobrium. He represents the sum of Amir's shame and his treatment of Hassan. Amir knows that to rescue Sohrab is the only way he can possibly pay Hassan back for the cowardice he showed so many years before. Amir risks his life multiple times and is beaten half to death in order to rescue the child. And even then, his subconscious wants to thank the boy for giving him the opportunity to become good again. Amir works to rid himself of this guilt. He seeks to do so in bringing Sohrab back to live in America with him. In this moment, he offers Sohrab a photo of his father. Not only is he transferring a memory, but in raising or offering to raise Sohrab, he believes he can relieve himself of his debt to Hassan. In this way, the picture represents a final release from his inner conflict, and it's this symbolism that makes the moment so important. The subject of The Telltale Heart and Amir both go through very similar experiences with guilt. As a young child, Amir allows his friend to be raped, and the memory of it sticks with him for the rest of his life. Eventually, when presented with the opportunity to relieve some of the pressure, he undertakes ridiculous odds and extreme bodily harm because he hates himself for the actions he took. The subject of The Telltale Heart experiences this same pressure, the same regret, and it drives him to the edge. Just like Amir, he acts rashly, going as far as to admit to a murder completely unprompted. Unlike Amir, however, his attempt to save himself does not change how he feels in the slightest. He screams about his victim, asking the question, why won't his heart stop? In this case, obviously the victim's heart is not actually beating, but to the subject, his memory lives on. Even after burying him, he cannot escape the death he caused. Both authors work with significant symbolism in their stories. Alan's subject ends devastated, and Hosseini's finds redemption, but in both stories, symbolism and imagery are used to convey the most important moments. Thank you.